Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where today I'm bringing you this super colourful EID Glam look. Guys, this year I thought I'd do something a little different and something a little bit more fun, because I feel like, you know, Eid this year, already being in lockdown, is going to be an incredibly different one for a lot of us, and something we've never experienced before. And I was kind of inspired by this scarf that I picked up from a Pakistani designer called Cardi, which some of you might know about, but I kind of looked at the colours, so I thought let's bring some fun, some colour back into the Eid look, do something a little bit creative, and you know, seeing as you guys have got this time at home, you might as well try it out. I had a lot of fun creating this, so let's get started. Okay guys, so I've already got my base on as well as my highlight and contour, and if you want to see what products I've used, then head over to my Instagram because I'll be posting that video up on there later this week. But for now, let's get started with the eye makeup, and the first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyelids. And this is super important for like a really colourful look like this. I mean, eyeshadow primer is important anyway, as it is, but especially for a look like this, you really want those colours to stand out and you want them to blend smooth as well. So I'm going to be using, this is called the MAC Paint Pot, and it's in the shade Soft Ochre. And I'm just going to go straight in with my finger and start to just pat that on. Now with these kind of MAC paint pots, you want to use a little bit at a time, so a really thin layer. You don't want to apply like a thick kind of layer to this because it will just start to kind of go a little bit, you know, patchy on the eyelid. So don't rub, but just pat it all the way up to your brow bone. Now this is quite a brightening colour, like a brightening shade for the eyelid, but that's kind of what I want to do for this look. I want to create quite a blank canvas, and then that way when I apply and go in with like my pink and my yellow eyeliner, it kind of pops really well too. Okay, so once you've done that and you've created like a nice blank canvas on the eyes, we can go in with our eyeshadow. Now today's look is going to be super quick and easy. The hard part is basically going to be the eyeliner, as always. I mean, winged eyeliner is always a struggle, but the eyeshadow is going to be nice and simple. So what we're going to do is just go in with like a nice wash of pink. So this is the MUA Tropical Oceana palette, and the pink I'm going to go for is this one just here. So I'll bring that a little bit closer, and this one's in the shade Elated, I think it is. Yeah. So with this eyeshadow, guys, we're literally just going to go in with one colour, and that's it for today. We want the eyeliner to make a statement, not the eyeshadow as much. So we're just going to create the pink on the eye as a bit of like a wash of colour. So I'm going to use my fluffy blending brush to do that. And what you're going to do is you're going to start on the eyelid. So just use your fluffy brush just to kind of brush over the eyelid. And this feels really nice actually with a fluffy blending brush. It kind of just allows you to get that softer application of eyeshadow, which is what we want. And then what you're going to do is, as you start to kind of swish that back and forth on the eyelid, you then slowly start to take it up into your crease. And of course, guys, this is my standard, you know, windscreen wiping action. If you've seen my videos before, you'll know that this is the move that I always do, especially in the crease. And what you pretty much want to do is push that brush into the crease and literally blend it back and forth. So I'm going to go back in with a little bit more and start to kind of build that up. So again, starting on the eyelid. So the lid is the bit that moves just here. So starting from here and then slowly bringing your brush into the crease and really focusing on that blend. So if it's still looking a bit patchy in the crease, then what you need to do is maybe apply a little bit more pressure with your brush. So kind of like push in a little bit more, and literally that's all you need to do. So you don't need to move the brush kind of like up or down. Like the fluffy brush is going to do all the work for you, and this is what I talk about in a lot of my eyeshadow videos. Just had to keep things really simple and really easy and teach you guys like really just quick ways on how to get your eyeshadow right. But if you just stick that in the crease area and just blend it back and forth, the more you do it, the more kind of smoother it's going to get. So just keep going until you're kind of happy with it. And you can kind of build this up to kind of your own personal preference. Just depends on how sort of bright you want that pink to be, but just making sure it's blended in a nice way. And yeah, I have used a matte pink shade today. So the eyeshadow I'm using has zero shimmer. And I think when you're going for these colourful looks, like trying to add in too much sometimes takes away from the focus. So if we're going to have the focus on the yellow eyeliner today, we want to keep the eyeshadow just a nice pink of wash of colour, but keeping it matte. And then what I'm going to do with what's left on my brush is I'm going to take that pink and start to just extend it outwards a little bit and maybe lift that a little bit higher. So you can start to sort of extend it towards that angle, so sort of the corner of the eye to the end of the brow. And then what you want to do is kind of balance out the lower part of the eye. So we're going to take the same pink shade and we want to create that kind of nice wash of colour all the way around the eye. So I'm going to take the same brush, same pink shade, and just apply a little bit at the bottom as well. So I'm just using the tip of my fluffy blending brush to do this and just kind of wiggling, yeah, I like that word, wiggling it back and forth underneath the eyes. Wiggling is a word, right? I didn't just make that up. Yeah, it must be. Oh, I'm liking this pink. To be honest, even I didn't think it was going to come out like that nice. I was a little bit, you know, a little bit skeptical as to how that pink was going to look, but I'm liking it. Okay, so next up we're going to go in with our yellow winged eyeliner, which is the fun part of today's look, and I'm using the NYX Vivid Brights liquid eyeliner. I've heard so much about these and it's been ages since they've been out, but for some weird reason I still haven't tried them. Like, this is my first time trying it. Don't ask me why it's taken me so long. I actually don't know, but here we are. So we're going to use the yellow one for this. So for the winged eyeliner, I'm literally going to do the same steps that I always do with like regular, like black winged eyeliner. So if you want to see it like properly broken down, I actually do have like a little how-to video already up on my channel. I think it's called the winged eyeliner and false lashes step-by-step tutorial. So that kind of breaks both things down, winged eyeliner and false lashes. But pretty much what I do first is I want to go in with a baseline. So my baseline is going to be just that line that runs across the top of the lashes. And with this baseline, don't worry too much about how like thin or thick it is. Just rest the brush along the tops of the lashes and just follow it through. At this point as well, guys, don't worry too much about the corner because that's where we're going to start to create the wing. So you can just kind of stop right there. And at that point, you've just got your baseline. Don't worry about how neat it is, just as long as it's close to the lashes and you have no gaps. And even if it's like a super thin line, that's fine. It's just your baseline and we're going to build up from that. So the next step is we're going to draw our wing. And what we're first going to do is just like a little stamp, like so. And I don't know if you can barely even see it on the camera, but I'll come a little bit closer. But you can see just that little stamp. And what that does is it just marks the area or the angle of which you're going to create your wing. And the angle I always follow is from the corner of the eye up until the end of the brow. So just that area there. But the thing is, if you go straight in with your wing, then we all know how terribly wrong that goes. So what you want to do is just create like a nice little marker point. And then what you want to do next is go from that little point and draw it back on to your baseline. So from that point and go back onto the baseline. So it almost creates like a little, kind of like a little tiny baby triangle. So I just close my eyes so you guys can see that. But it's like the beginnings of a wing, right? So just that little point there. And then basically from there, you can start to extend it. So what I do then is just by resting my hand, I just want to start to flick that outwards. And you can start to make it a little bit longer. You can start to make it a little bit thicker. Go back over your baseline if you wanted to. But once you've got that kind of like foundation of the wing going on, so even if it's just a really thin line and you've managed to get that little triangle, then after that you can start to play around with it. So as you can see, I've just kind of taken it a little bit longer, made it a little bit thicker, and that's when you can start to play with your eyeliner. And it makes life so much easier rather than going straight in. We're trying to make it like a perfect wing. So as you guys can see, I've just thickened that eyeliner up a little bit. Now, I did say it was my first time using this NYX Liquid Brights eyeliner. I have to say, I love the colour, and I know it looks a little bit crazy right now because it looks like I have 0 lashes. Oh man, but yeah, it looks a little bit crazy right now, but we'll get there once we put the lashes on. Makeup is a process, guys. I'm sure anyone watching this understands that. But yeah, I found that the more you kind of go over it, so like I wanted to like kind of like smooth out areas and kind of just go over my liner, like the more I do with this, like it just cakes and then it starts to crumble. So that was a little bit like, oh, okay, difficult to work with. Also, the brush is like really hard to use. So guys, I would recommend, if you're going to do this and if you're going to use the NYX liner, pop your own eyeliner brush into the thing, or if you can, just like take a little bit out on the back of your hand and use your own brush, because the actual brush with this, it's quite flimsy and I found it quite hard to use, so I just ended up using like my own eyeliner brush, like just a clean one. But yeah, other than that, I do really love the colour and I love how bright it comes out. So next up, what I'm going to do to start adding a little bit of definition back into my eyes, because right now it just, yeah, so funny. I can't stop laughing every time I look into the camera thing. So I'm going to add a bit of just a thin line of just black liner. So I'm not doing like a double wing or anything crazy like that, but what I'm trying to do is just create a little bit of definition and kind of cover that lash line at the top, because then when I stick my lashes on, it'll all look quite even and there won't be like gaps of like yellow there as well. So this is my Inglot black gel liner. Absolutely love it. The Inglot black gel liner is like my favourite black gel liner. It's so pigmented, it's just really nice and easy to use. And also what I like about Inglot is they do this kind of liquid thing, like here, I'll show you guys. This thing here, Duraline, that's what it's called. But you can pop a few drops of that into the liner if it ever starts to dry out. So for example, I've had mine for ages and these do last a really, really long time. But obviously they start to dry out sometimes. So you can pop a few drops of this into there and it just brings it back to life again. So I'm literally just going to go in with my eyeliner brush and do a line just super, super close to my top lash line. It's kind of like when you were doing your baseline, when you did your first step. But what this does is it's just going to fill in the gaps, because the other thing this yellow eyeliner did was literally make my lashes go yellow, like especially the roots of my lashes. So that's going to look a little bit weird when it comes to popping like my lashes on. So what I want to do is just fill in those little gaps, kind of paint away the yellow roots of my mascara. I mean, my lashes. And I like to use sort of like an angle brush to do this. This one's from MAC, but they do kind of other liner brushes as well, which are quite nice, like kind of like the more pointy ones, but I prefer this sort of, you know, angle style brush. Okay guys, so I've just finished doing that and I've added on some lashes. These are my MAC, well, I don't know why I'm showing the packet because they're on my eyes, but they're the MAC number 3 lashes. So I thought they go quite nicely kind of with this look. So next up, I'm actually going to add a little bit of glow to this eye makeup. So obviously, you know, my skin, I've kept it quite glowy. So I kind of want to match that up a little with touches of glow in the eyes. So I'm using the same highlight that I've used on my cheeks. And this is the Oh Darling MAC highlighter. And I'm just using like a little, kind of like a little pointy fluffy brush just to pop this into the inner corners, and it just adds like a nice little kind of touch of glow. And then I'm going to add the same highlight just underneath my eyebrow bone too, just to kind of really lift this up and yeah, make this kind of eye makeup look, take it to kind of, you know, the next glam level. And then of course I need to add some bottom lash mascara, and I'm just going in with my all-time favourite mascara. This is the Max Factor False Lash Effect Mascara. So I've used this on my top lashes and I'm just going to pop this on the bottom lashes as well. And the best way to apply bottom lash mascara, guys, is, can you see how I'm not kind of doing it this way? I'm using the tip and just going underneath, kind of like wiggling that brush. There's that word again. I seem to like it today. And then of course, last but not least, we need to finish off this lovely look with a nice lip. Now I was debating like a bright pink glossy lip, but then I was like, I don't kind of want it to, you know, cross over the line for it to look in like cartoony. So I was like, I think what I'm going to do to keep it nice and fresh and, you know, make the eyes kind of make a statement, I'm going to go for like a more of a nude but really glossy lip, just to kind of counteract, you know, the matte on the eyes and the glossy skin. And now you guys kind of start to see how my mind sort of works as a makeup artist, but I just love being creative and then thinking about how to kind of put things together. So I'm going to go for this lip pencil from MAC in Soar, and pretty much, yeah, you guys can't understand me like that, but I'm pretty much going to fill in my whole lip with this pencil. And then once I've done that, to make this ultra glossy, I'm using the MAC Lipglass lip gloss, and this actually goes on like the shiniest, glossiest gloss ever. So I'm just going to pop this onto the back of my hand first, and then I use my finger and I just want to kind of blob this onto like the center of my lip. So as you guys can see, it just gives off like the nicest high shine kind of glossy finish. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's look, and if you have fun creating this at home, please do share with me. Share your images, your pictures, tag me in them, and drop me a comment below if you enjoyed this tutorial. And I hope you guys are all keeping safe and well during this time, but most importantly, a big Eid Mubarak to everyone celebrating. And as always guys, stay beautiful, stay you. Okay guys, so I've already got my skin Instagram because I'll be popping over that video. Just rest. Then we all know how the wing going on, like, you know, even seeing as, you know, lockdown happened.